You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it.
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat, not laundry room edition. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
I miss you guys so much. Oh, my God.
So good to talk to you, even if you are in Romania. But let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, howdy, tutti fruity.
Howdy, hooty tooty. Guys, it has been. So we put out an episode last week, but we recorded that the night after the
It was Friday
night draft.
Friday night, yeah.
So it's been like a full 10, 11 days before we.
This is the longest I've gone not hanging out with you like this in like 5 years, and I started to panic like 2 nights ago. Like panic was setting in.
Just binge watching our own Patreon.
Yeah. I spent a little too much extra time on that video we did for Patreon. I was just really soaking our vibes in, our juices.
Yes, folks, if you haven't seen, over at patreon.com is a killer video that Kevin put together of our experience at the draft. We are now back in our own homes, minus Kevin, who is overseas in Romania, working hard. What time is it over there for you right now?
You're not in the military.
I'm proud to be an American.
You're acting as if you're over there. Some like naval base.
I'm free. It's 11:40 p.m.
Just here, sacrifice for you guys.
I'm here doing the Lord's work.
Doing the Lord's work.
Well, obviously, folks, we've got plenty to talk about since we haven't talked since 3 draft players in. So
and we might have drafted a namesake. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's going to be discussion. We'll get to it all. We've got the Brisket Abroads. Now that they've given us that teaser from a week and a half ago, now we can get the full draft party experience. We've got the Craig experience coming in hot, and a understandably chunky Ask Boltfam with questions galore over out Saturday more than anything. But let's start it off here at the top, folks. The draft. We're back home now. We've seen all the guys that we've picked. We haven't really talked about it yet. How are you guys feeling?
Kyle, you kick it off.
How am I feeling about the draft? Is that the question? Sorry.
Yeah, all the players, because we only talked about
the notes. Yeah.
We were talking about Dayon Henley and Tuli Tuipulotu and
here was the hard part about the draft experience is when you're in person, you don't get all the expert analysis right after the pick.
The breakdown. How can this work? How can this fit? Yeah.
They immediately cut to the highlights. You don't see any of that at the draft.
And you're like, oh, wow, he looks good. No, it's just like Dayon Henley. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Yeah, the cameras are on us. Hell yeah.
I don't know if I've heard of him.
Yeah, but it's just like then over the last 10 days now, it's been really fun to go and like dig in and learn who these guys are and what they were thought of going into the draft. And it really feels like we had pick the best player available. It feels like we got the steal of most rounds, except for the Darius Davis was a little bit of a pull, but
baby.
That was the one pick that we drafted a need. We needed a punt returner, a kick returner. So we took him maybe a little bit early from what people are now gossiping about. But everything else, it felt like we were taking the best player available that also had the right like attitude. That's been my biggest thing is watching all of our guys' interviews and stuff. We got some like personalities and they seem like they love football. Like all of them are just like Matlock said he's coming for souls and like these guys just love football. Like they like all the physicality side of it. And you can't get enough of Dayon Henley's interviews. It's just gold. All
that
of
guy's
it.
electric.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a well-rounded draft class for sure.
And to go off that, I think it's my favorite overall draft we've had, and I can't even remember how long.
Mm-hmm.
and hitting on all these guys. And the one thing coach said in his post presser was like, these are all starters. These are all guys that will contribute right now. It's just exactly what we talked about. We want guys that are not projects. They have shown it in college what they're capable of doing. They can step in and contribute. Maybe it's right off the bat on special teams, but maybe they start working in some reps and start flashing. Like that's how we're going to rise. Everyone's going to rise. And we could be a championship team. That's what we all want. That's what we need.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to draft Sioux Falls. Don't give me any Sioux Falls projects, Delaware, like taking tiny FCS schools. And Matt Money Smith was like, well, these guys played in the Big 12, so we'll see what it's like when they get to real competition. I'll take the Big 12 all day over FCS Pioneer League, like that's what the drafts have been in the past. So
Chattanooga Community College.
Thank you. all the way down to the last round. I mean, I guess the only poll that you could say was a smaller conference was Scott Matlock out of the Mountain West, but all these other guys, like they're all big time schools that we drafted throughout, which to me, it's just like these guys have proven it at a high level. They've done it consistently. A lot outside of Tuli was the only 20-year-old that we drafted. The rest of these guys are like seasoned vets that are old enough to come in and make a difference right away.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, let's go through them all real quickly here. Quentin Johnston was the number 1 pick, and surprisingly enough, wearing number 1 for his jersey.
I like that. They gave the jersey numbers out for all the players.
It was perfect. Awesome. So they interviewed Staley and Telesco. Staley said, when you guys meet Quentin Johnston, you're going to know why he's here. Just like when you guys met Zion Johnson last year and the year before when you met Rashawn Slater. When he walks in a room, you're going to feel him right away. He's an outstanding young man. He had an outstanding college career, meant a lot to TCU. It was a really fun evaluation to go through with our coaching staff, with our personnel department. Like I said, we're really glad that he's a teammate of Derwin James. Interesting that he goes for Derwin on that. Yeah, on that quote.
I think they're friends. I think that there was like a video where they were like congratulating each other and that kind of stuff. Or I think maybe Derwin just knows everybody. I think that's
Derwin. Yeah, Derwin just is the guy. Yeah.
He's the man. So
he is the man.
We had time. We had extra time to look at his highlights and what he's doing, what he's offering. I just like we're so stacked in wide receiver now after getting him. Well, and we have Jalen Guyton coming back. You know what I mean? Like this feels like this room is set up that if somebody's going to get hurt, we're going to lose them for a week or two. It's just a reality. This feels like a room that's not going to fall off the map anymore. Right. We're not going to be playing practice squad players anymore. And what he's able to do after the catch, we always talk about Yak. He's a yak attack. You know what I mean? He's really good. Gets the ball and gets down the field.
Yeah. We looked at the numbers and our instant reaction pretty much is what it was after the first round, right? Wooly, you brought up the stat of his vertical versus Mike. Yeah. And he didn't show on tape like he goes up and gets the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. But what vertical is a good indicator of that quick twitch, like explosiveness. Mm-hmm. He's an explosive guy. So he gets the ball and he gets going real quick. It's not necessarily he's just gonna beat you in the high jump, but he gets the ball and goes, which is weird to see in a guy his height. Mm-hmm. I think we all were like, oh, you got to have a after the catch yak guy, so we got to draft someone that's 5'8", or else he's not going to be able to do that. Right. It seems like Quentin can do a little bit of both while also not getting just pressed on the line of scrimmage with elite NFL corners that can stop you from moving if you're not big and strong enough. So, and the Chargers, that's the wide receiver that we want. That's what Tommy T likes. He took Mike Will in the first, took Quentin Johnston in the first. That's the frame that he's looking for to build a team with.
Well, speaking of Tom Telesco,
we got our little guy, and we got our little guy in the fourth. So
that's right.
We're not spending money on the little guys. We'll draft the big boys first.
So Telesco had this to say about Johnston. It's going to be tremendous for his development. We can watch what Josh Palmer went through. I think that's a really good comparison, what Josh went through from college to his first year as a pro. To walk in the room with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, it can't get much better than that. He's 21 years old. He's a young player with just 3 years in college. He isn't one of these kids that played 5 or 6 years with the COVID rule. He's still really young. He has a lot of learning to do, especially at that position, to step in and watch guys who have done it and done it at a high level that are really masters of their craft. I think it's really going to help them. I thought in the 3 biggest games of the season against Kansas State, Michigan, and Georgia, I thought that he was the best player on the field. And that's saying a lot because there were a couple of round 1 picks from among those teams.
It's like what you said on the instinct thing, Kyle. He just we were doing the Instagram live. He just dominates. He's just like he's just a dominant player. He's the guy that you see first when you're watching the tape.
Yeah, and when you're watching a full game, the commentators, that's all they talk about. All they talk about is Quentin Johnston. So therefore, the other team knows that's their guy. In college, if you just have one guy, it's easier to shut down that one guy, but you still couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. He still was able to lead this team to a national championship with some big come from behind victories with just basically throwing him the ball every play. So I'm not to say that TCU didn't have other good players, but he was by far and away their best. He's the only first round guy in the whole program. So I don't know. I think it's just huge. I mean, and he has his biggest games against the best teams. That's when he likes to play, step up and make big plays.
And
should be awesome.
After last season, we need guys like that. When we get to the playoffs and they don't show up, we need players that do the best under the brightest lights.
Big time. All right, round 2. Tuli Tuipulotu was our
fun
pick.
Name.
So fun to say. Staley had this to say about Tuli. One of the top players in the country on defense. He has a lot of the characteristics that we think translate to playing championship defense.
I like that word.
Oh, yes. He's really tough and rugged at the point of attack. He's versatile. He can rush from the outside and from the inside. He has versatility that way. He has the play style that we're really attracted to. He was here at our local pro day. Got to know him a little bit, even better. He's a guy that just really grew on us in the process. I'm very excited to add him to our group.
Yeah.
Versatile.
Yeah, the fact that you can see him as an inside and outside guy as a 20-year-old, like he's a kid, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't even hit man strength yet. He's not a grown up yet.
He hasn't even hit puberty yet.
Oh no, I'm sure he's well into puberty.
Dabbled in puberty a little bit.
There's a second like man strength that you get in your early to mid 20s that he hasn't even tapped into yet. So it's like trying to pin him on, his frame is too light to play inside. This guy could put on a good 20, 30 pounds in the next 2 years and be a dominant four-eye technique down the inside. So or you keep him lean and let him get explosive, and because he's still not as strong as he's going to get, and he could be that outside guy. I think you draft him as a tool, but man, he was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year as a 20-year-old, as a 19-year-old or 20-year-old.
Crazy.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah.
And then Tuli, on learning from Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, said, "I'm blessed. Coming into the league, that's what I wanted. I wanted the best to learn from, and man, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, that's crazy. I'm excited for opportunity. I'm a sponge, so I'm going to just absorb all of the info that they give me and just try to get better and make an impact on the team."
Come on.
What a crazy room. If you actually look at it like that, a 20-year-old going to learn how to play professional football, and it's Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. It's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, he was in he was a 10-year-old, 11-year-old when they got into the league.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's a little kid.
Well, that's a perspective right there.
Yeah. All right. Round 3. Chargers selected Dayon Henley out of Washington State. And he is one of the few players that is donning number 0 as the NFL allowed number 0 to hit the jerseys. Dayon Henley said, fitting. "That's mine. Thank you."
I think I might have to call him Goose from now on. The goose egg. Let's go.
With his personality, 0 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
He takes 0 shits from everyone.
Well, Staley had this to say about Henley, to be a dynamic playmaker, a 4-core player, and then a guy that we think eventually at linebacker. If you take a look at his last year at Washington State, I think in the run game and pass coverage, and then he was an outstanding rusher, had 5 sacks his last year there. Anytime that you can get a 3-down linebacker that can really run, we feel like that's a really tough thing to find nowadays. We're very excited about the pick.
And this is his 3rd year playing linebacker in college. He was a tight end. So like he was
a quarterback in high school.
Quarterback to tight end to linebacker. Like that's just the fact that he got drafted where he did with only 3 years of experience. Like that's just sheer raw talent, and you can teach that. So we'll see how much better this guy can actually get. You know what I mean? It's exciting.
Yeah, he's an instant playmaker on special teams. Like instant. Every single special teams he'll be there. And it's interesting because you don't see him as a on the defense right now. I wonder if Nick Niemann, because this is kind of what you drafted Nick Niemann to do last year too. Same type of situation where he'll be a core special teamer, which he was. It'll be exciting to see if he actually gets a little bit more playing time in rotation with Kenneth Murray and Kendricks.
Like, it'll be interesting. This will say a lot about where Kenneth is going to, what they're going to do with him. So I feel like this pick was kind of setting up to not have Kenneth back next year. Yeah. I think that's what this was the beginning of. So we'll see how this all plays out. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we talked about it, but Chargers came out and said that they weren't going to be picking up on Kenneth's 5th-year option. Yeah. So
yeah, he's pretty much gone. Safe to say.
It does send a signal.
He just hasn't proven that we want him. He hasn't proven yet that he's coming back. Yeah.
Not a first-year, 5th-year option. Not a first-round, 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Shifts 5, 6.
My words.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Stop clapping. Dayon Henley was. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So at this point in the last episode, those were all the names that we knew. We knew nobody else that was going to be coming to the team. So Saturday came and we saw some names that I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like 4th rounder Darius Davis. Davis donning number 12 said Davis was also one of the most dangerous returners in the country in his college career. Returned 5 punts for a touchdown in just 44 attempts. Averaged 15 yards a return. So losing DeAndre Carter, there you go.
You got yourself a cheap DeAndre Carter.
Davis, yes.
Who's faster.
Oh, God, he's fast.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that, but it's insane.
Yeah. Staley said on Davis, definitely comfortable with him. We drafted him in the 4th round because we really feel like he was one of the top returners in the country. Then looking at the landscape of both pro and college football, we really felt like this guy is special with the ball in his hands.
And we had no one on the roster right now. There's not a single person that's going to return.
It was question marks. It was like, okay, well, is there somebody on the roster that can return balls that we don't know about, or are we going to get a guy? And we got a guy. And not just a guy, another guy that's from TCU. So it was like, okay. No, we got Quentin Johnston and his good buddy Darius Davis. So
and
pretty cool.
Unlike Tui, he's going to walk into his room and it's just going to be him. There's nobody to teach him or look up to. It's like, all right, you're a kid, get in there.
Get on in there now.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, he'll have Ryan Ficken, I'm sure, to help him out. And if Ficken can make the special teams as good as it was last year, I'm sure he can coach Darius Davis to return the ball quite well. Especially given his speed, like you mentioned. The Chargers pointed out last season, Darius Davis clocked a 23.47 mile per hour speed in a game, the fastest run in all of college football and the NFL.
So you guys wanted speed? You got speed.
This guy's getting tickets in residentials.
He's getting pulled over for
pull
sure.
Pull over.
Children live here. My kids play here.
What's wrong?
He just runs in place and burns out in the driveway or something.
Oh man. Yeah, he's not one of the names you're like, oh yeah, that's the guy I want, because he's on TCU and they don't get as much hype as some of these other teams. So he was awesome. And the fact that we have 2 TCU guys, like you said, Adam, is crazy. They clearly made an impression.
We thought it would stop there, but it does not, and we'll get to it in the order it was received. 5th round pick came Jordan McFadden, offensive lineman out of Clemson. He'll be donning number 71, which that was Filer's number, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So long, sweet prince.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Sweet prince.
Telesco had this to say about McFadden, said, really solid, consistent player in college, played left and right tackle, which is nice. But we also think he can play guard, so there's some versatility there. There's that word again. Strong, powerful, long arms, had a really nice college career. What's big with him, and similar to Jamari Salyer, is being able to play different positions as a depth offensive lineman will get him in there and kind of take it from there.
This feels like a carbon copy Jamari Salyer pick.
Yeah, it feels like it, right?
Everything about it. Played tackle, both sides in college, projected to be a guard, but could play tackle in a tight spot. His head coach calling out like, Why aren't you drafting this guy? He's incredible. Figure it out.
One of the best offensive linemen I've ever coached is what he said. Basically.
Yeah, he's a football player. He didn't test incredible or whatever the reason why he fell. His arms aren't long enough. Whatever, like that's ridiculous. This feels like a very similar situation of you got yourself a dog in the 5th, 6th round that just is, for whatever reason, other teams didn't see it. So I love it. When a college coach is willing to come out and say, this guy was an absolute stud, you draft him. Bottom line, you just do it. Especially a guy like Debo, and last year Kirby. It's like these guys have coached the best players in the country every single year. They both have won multiple national championships. Like, just trust them. They're not trying to do it like pull a quick one on you. Just draft the guy.
Right.
And I think this is where the draft it really starts with: is this going to be a huge Charger team now? Like the 5th on are like the guys like I don't know. But it looks like we're set up for success in these picks right here.
So 6th round pick number 200, came Scott Matlock, defensive tackle out of BSU, Boise State, which was awesome to see. I love seeing.
I still can't get over that blue field, dude. Watching his
get over it, dude.
How the hell do you watch football in that blue
Build
field?
a bridge and get over it, my friend. So Scott Matlock will be donning number 99. Staley had this to say about Matlock. Yeah.
Sayonara.
Later, Gator. Staley said he's a war daddy. You could end the quote right there.
I love what he says, war daddy.
That term applies to him, how he plays, and the type of leadership that he had at Boise State, that type of mantle that he earned as a captain there. I think you'll see that in our draft. We joined up with a lot of players with production, but also the leadership intangibles that we really value. We were able to spend a lot of time with him. So,
did you see some of the videos of this guy?
Well,
he's crazy, dude.
The guy is crazy, and like the first video that I see is him catching touchdowns, and I said, "Well, wait, defensive tackle. Why is he catching touchdowns?" And I guess they had some special plays over there at BSU for him to sneak in and get wide open, apparently. And as long as he can catch the ball, that's a touchdown right there.
I just want to propose. I want to go back to that Viking versus Shark battle. This guy feels like a ginger Viking that I would put money on defeating the Shark. Like he gives off that energy that he goes like berserker mode and won't stop until something's dead, and he's gonna eat your soul, which is kind of cool.
It's so crazy that Kevin hasn't been able to stop thinking about that debate that he lost.
I'm basically on the lookout for any Viking that could destroy a shark.
That could be the Shark. Yeah.
I'm on it. It's something that's going to be in me for the rest of my life.
Well, Garrett Sisti also pointed out, looking at the numbers, Chargers 6th round pick Scott Matlock was not invited to the combine, but his numbers at his pro day versus defensive tackles from the combine, he would have been ranked. And that would be 1st in the 3-cone, 1st in the shuttle, tied for 2nd for the 40-yard, tied for 3rd on bench, tied for 3rd on broad, and 5th in the vertical. So why was he not invited? Like,
I am so glad that he wasn't, because if he was, he would have been drafted much earlier than where we got him.
Probably, yeah.
One, look at those. That's top 5 in everything.
Yeah,
he's a local Boise kid. I'm pretty sure he grew up just outside of Boise in Idaho. And so he went to his hometown team that he loved. Yeah. He didn't go to the giant school. And so you get overlooked when you go to Mountain West. That's just what happens.
Yeah. In fact, there was a interesting thing. I'm not going to be able to quote it specifically, but when I looked at his profile, they posted on Reddit. Somebody was posting on Reddit all of like the kind of profiles of the players that we were picking up. And his backstory of being, he was adopted when he was younger. And so he grew up as an adopted kid, losing his parents at a young age. And just fought through all of that to become the kick-ass football player that he is now. Guy's been fighting adversity his entire life, basically. Right. And so now to come into this, to be a Charger player, obviously a character guy that Staley and Telesco saw and produces. And I mean, at least for the Underwear Olympics or his pro day, puts up some numbers. So I'm excited for this pick. This pick could be like the big one for us this year.
It could be. It really could be.
Yeah. Well, finally, round 7 comes around.
How we called this one.
Well, you didn't.
And a 7th rounder. We called one pick.
You didn't call it, but you said if this happens, you put some stakes on the line, my friend, and that's Max Duggan, QB out of TCU donning number 8.
It looks so weird seeing his name on this jersey. DUGG. It just looks so bizarre. It's like
I'm so
Kyle,
happy
you made a
about
custom uniform with your own last name on it. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's so crazy, dude. Like just looking at it is crazy.
We got to go on one of those online sites and see if we're related somehow back.
Let's see if he's done the 23andMe. Yeah, I'll have a look. We'll see if we're connected in any way.
We got to see if there's somehow some relation,
some lineage that you can go back
That'd
to.
be instant clout for an interview. He couldn't turn us down.
Yeah,
has to.
Just DM him and be like, look at my name.
IA.
What time would you like to be on the show?
Just give me a time and a place and I'll be there.
Here's the times we have available. You pick.
Let me know.
So Telesco had this to say about quarterback Max Duggan from TCU, the third TCU player that we drafted. Down there at that point in the draft, the 7th round, we thought he had some traits to work with. Dual threat quarterback, tough, strong, physical, fast. Not typically the first 4 traits you say for a quarterback, but he has them at such a high level and really good arm strength. He has some skills to work with, so give him a chance to come in and to compete, to see him play through the course of his career. He has that toughness that is hard to find. We'll take it and go from there.
I think that's how most people feel about me. We'll take him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hey.
Not a glowing confidence in Duggan, but
he's got some interesting traits.
Hey, he's reliable and he's fucking strong as shit. Like, let's just get him in here. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
I mean, the outcry from a lot of Charger fans, and I kind of understandably so, taking a quarterback in the 7th round.
Here's the deal.
I don't understand it at all. I don't understand the backlash
with that bullshit. There's like 12 picks after us. One of those 12 guys, did you know any of them? First of all. Second of all, how much would you have paid to get them over Duggan? Because that was it. That was it. This was a quarterback that went to the national championship and did all the
Heisman Trophy finalist.
Heisman Trophy finalist.
Yeah.
And everyone is just mad that they didn't want to carry 3 quarterbacks. And I get it. We have Justin Herbert. We're never going to see D-man play.
Well,
but these are a 7th round pick. Most of these guys don't even make rosters. This could be a backup for a long time. We only have Stick on a 1-year deal. Let's see what happens.
And the thing about a quarterback is they have so much value compared to a backup defensive lineman or a backup linebacker, whatever you would have drafted in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. You're not going to turn those guys into picks later on. Mm-hmm. Max Duggan comes out and balls out in preseason for 3 years in a row. In 3 years, halfway through the season, someone goes down, you get a 3rd, 4th round pick out of it, and you had a backup that whole time. There's just even the value of decent backup quarterbacks is so high that this could eventually turn it. This is like an investment almost. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like you said, Kev, if it doesn't happen, he goes into all of those guys that you would have drafted in the 7th are on that list of free agents that we picked up, undrafted free agents. Like there was only, like you said, 12 guys. Why are we all up in arms about it? Like, chill.
The people that were, I immediately muted because they don't know what the they're talking about. No offense. Like, that's ridiculous to be mad at this pick. It is ridiculous to be mad. And not because he has the same last name as me. It's just ridiculous that one of those 12 guys was one of your guys.
You know
it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's great because you know what happened? These Charger fans watching this draft.
Not even a game, a draft.
I want to be mad.
None of these picks have pissed me off yet.
None of these picks have pissed me off. These are great picks.
Oh, here we go.
I'm ready. This is my last chance. This is the 9th inning. I'm ready. Hello. You get a wave. Yeah, that's what happened is that pent up wanting to be pissed off Charger fan energy just got unleashed on Max Duggan because he was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah. Right. And you don't need to be fucking bringing that Duggan heat for no reason. Give him a break.
Yeah, it's a Duggan.
When was the last time you were
easy?
When was the last time you were a finalist for the Heisman Trophy? Yeah, exactly.
You thought we defended Lombardi? This guy's got our name.
Here we go.
Will never end.
No.
You thought Lombardi was bad. I can't wait to watch these preseason games.
We're going to be going down with the ship on that one.
I can't wait for the argument between Stick and Duggan. Like at some point, is that a conversation that starts to happen? It could. It really could.
Team Duggan versus Team Stick.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that was all of the picks for the Chargers. We never saw any moves, no trade ups, no trade downs. Everybody just stayed the course. These are our picks, and off to the races they went. So awesome looking group, and obviously a chunk of undrafted free agents or rookies as well. So going to be a lot of competition at camp. And do I remember correctly that this is the year where they're going to hold basically all 90 guys all the way up to like the last preseason game and then just do a mass cut?
I think that's right.
So
that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's going to be that's
a lot of guys
like,
going to have opportunities. You know, there's
that
a lot
Hard
of
Knocks
guys.
is going to be brutal. That last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Hard Knocks is going to suck. There's no cuts anymore.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why that show was fun.
There's going to be one episode, and it's the Red Wedding for those that watch Game of Thrones.
It is the Red Wedding of Hard Knocks.
So draft grades come out, and I mean, I don't know how much stock you can put in them. I've seen people give Chargers A+ and F-, but I think this was PFF. Yeah. PFF gave Chargers an A-, Denver Broncos B+, Raiders B-, and Chiefs B-. So for the AFC West, PFF says that we're the winners of the draft.
Hey, I'll take wins. I'll take wins.
Yeah.
Even though it's PFF, because I saw a lot of stuff saying that we were like C-.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, that was an A draft.
That was one of the best drafts I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm excited to see these guys hit the field, and I'm also excited to see the schedule get released because we all saw what happened last year. How could they possibly top it? It's a smart social media team, so they have to have a plan. It can't just be we'll write it on a napkin and throw it in front of a camera.
Last year, we're done. Come on.
No, this is, and they're in LA. I expect some celebrity.
I agree. I think see some celebrity sightings coming.
Appearances.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, something. I don't know.
Or like, for some reason, I sense, what's our guy from Saved by the Bell? Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez,
I want to feel like there's some like Saved by the Bell Mario Lopez kind of fucking something there. I don't know what it is, but he was such a part of that, like the party on day one. I feel like there's some connection there. I don't know what it is.
Well, we would love to connect you with our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. Check out some of the awesome videos we've put over there, like our most recent draft documentary that Kev put together. I'm telling you, folks, it was, if you want a good laugh, and there's more to come, promise. Yeah. Go on over to patreon.com/ChargerChat. And we, as always, need to shout out our newest Patreon members. And this week we have Edgar Sandoval joining our Patreon. Thank you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Thank you so much. And if you don't want to go to patreon.com/ChargerChat, that's totally fine. You can go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the member section and ask questions. And Ask Boltfam, so go check out chargerchat.com. All right, folks, time to go on to the next segment. These two lovely ladies gave us a calf teaser last episode. And it was a heck of a calf. I won't lie.
That was a beautiful calf.
That calf action was incomparable. So let's see what they could possibly have for us this week for our Brisket Broads.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's no place they wouldn't try to hang out with Justin and his squad. Get ready to hear their positive thoughts. It's time for Brisket Abroad. Hello, our Charger Chat brethren. Hello, Boat Fam. We love you.
We miss you.
And we are so excited for this season to start already. Last season, I felt really excited, but I feel even more excited this season.
I'm Kellen more excited.
You're Kellen more excited than me?
Yeah.
No way. I'm Kellen more excited than you.
Oh.
As previously teased, whilst Kevin, Kyle, and Adam were at the actual draft in Kansas City, Mary and I...
We were at the Chargers draft party in Century City, California.
I'm low.
This is the most fun I've ever had at a mall.
The party was many things.
If you had to describe it in one word.
If someone had a gun to our head and we had to describe the draft party in one word, that word would have to be touching.
Hold on, baby. Here. All right, Derwin. Appreciate you. Derwin James, everybody. All right. Derwin James.
You didn't even notice. Shake hands with him.
That's right.
Touch him!
Well, you know, when it comes to Florida State players, you can't just take one. You gotta.
Say he could beat this guy in the door. Honestly,
oh man, he went through some secret door! Dang it!
Touching.
We have to say it in a way that doesn't sound creepy, though.
There's no way to say touching in unison in a non-creepy way. Well, you can't touch them all, as they say.
Gotta touch them all!
You and me.
Justin, you're our destiny. I touch you. Touch me. That's not how the song goes.
Moving on.
So it just wasn't in the cards for me to touch Justin this time.
It wasn't the cards for me.
I feel like we should stop saying touch. Senior Snappy and Mary got to touch Justin, so I'm really happy for them. I looked like I was looking down and didn't mean it.
I definitely felt like you didn't mean it.
I'm super happy for them.
Thank you. You're such a good friend.
After Senior Snappy fist bumped Justin, he said, I'm never going to wash this hand again. And then he said, not that I ever washed it before either.
What a silly guy.
It was a really big day for him.
Yeah. Not only did he get physical contact and eye contact from Justin, he also got to declare his undying love for someone.
Right here, let's hear it.
Look at that!
So I told him my name, Rivers Lake. He was like,
They're leading right now, but you guys
okay.
That sounds
like
I
him.
love you. And he just like walked away. So there you go. That was my experience with Dean Spanos.
Wow.
Yeah.
The draft party was full of magical moments like that.
Because the way that it was set up, it was just like a barbecue and you're just mixing and mingling with your friends and having a good time.
Dancing to music. It was like this.
We're going in!
Raiders suck, Jay.
Raiders suck! Raiders suck!
Wow.
Yeah. It was like a barbecue where you're hanging out with your friends and some of your friends just happen to be NFL Hall of Famers.
Where my people from the Valley at? Coming all the way down here for draft day. We're also going to hear from Brandon Staley.
We think you're super great, Kellen. Thank you. That was hard.
Here today, the draft, right? We're into the business. They don't show the draft. And who better to talk to us about it?
Come on. I haven't finished it yet.
So there are a lot of great players available.
Normal stuff.
Wow.
It was a great day.
The greatest. And shout out to Melanie for being a great wingman because she was the one who tapped Dan Fouts on the shoulder and was like, can you sign this for my friend? Which, get away from me! Which is what we all need because I was nervous that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we all just need someone who can be like, hey, can you sign this for them? You know?
I wouldn't ask for myself, but
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. We got to pay it forward and be wingmen for other people later on, too.
I don't know whose app this is, but I'm getting it signed for him.
Now buy me a car.
Was it a big jump? You always hear about the jump.
I'll handle it.
Yeah. Some kind of little X, some kind of check mark, something on the calendar ready to go.
Wow. I'm going to keep this ball.
Kind of game by game.
There was one point when we realized the guy next to us had an Antonio Gates jersey on when we were right next to Antonio Gates. So we were like,
Don't you want to get your jersey signed? Do you have a pen?
and then he was like, oh, I don't know. But then he did.
He just needed encouragement.
Yeah, like, come on, get it signed. Just ask. We don't want to bother these football players that we think are so cool. So we need someone else to be like, bother them.
Afterwards, he was like, thanks for suggesting that. Now we're the Bolt fam. We're here for each other.
We're family. So we'll help each other get stuff signed. So that was probably one of my favorite parts of the evening. We realized that the players would have to wait on these stairs before they go on stage. So that's where we hung out.
Where they were trapped.
And then we'd try to start chatting with them, usually successfully. Mary asked Dayon what his favorite Disney movie was.
I did.
His favorite Disney movie is WALL-E.
He said he loved WALL-E because you could appreciate it as an adult, not just as a kid. And you could probably appreciate it more as an adult.
Beautiful. We also got to talk to Eric Kendricks for a while.
What's the weirdest thing someone's asked you to sign?
You're going to make more money. You're going to get drafted higher. Give us an idea how you ended up, or share with us how you...
Eric Kendricks is so great.
He's really great.
So excited for him to be a Charger.
Yeah. And he really was getting the crowd pumped up. I think he's excited to be there, which, you know, that's what you want to see. So a lot of the players, we have gotten their signatures already from training camp or running into them. Sometimes we just hold up their drawing to show them like, hey, remember us?
Don't ever forget us.
So Mike Davis was like, hey, yeah, I already signed it, right? And we're like, yeah. And then he said,
Yeah? Go sign it again. Okay. Wait, we should ask him a good question. Oh, gosh. Okay, Abata. I want you to write, what's your favorite thing about the sauna? That is so great. Thank you, Batu. Yeah, Batu.
So my autograph book is getting pretty full. I successfully got Dan Fouts, Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner, LT, got all their autographs. Pretty much gotten every Charger autograph except for...
You're great, Heather. You're so good.
One more.
There she goes.
Did not take the full.
I swear.
At least we're keeping the tradition alive.
This I swear, by the moon and the stars in the sky. So, you know, that really got us down. Not really, but Keenan Allen lifted our spirits by serenading us.
And then we serenaded him back.
Because it was his birthday.
Yeah, it was his birthday.
We were not expecting Keenan to be there.
Mm-mm.
Who wants to come into work on their birthday? That was another thing that was pretty cool about the draft party, because they had advertised which players were going to be there for sure. A lot more players ended up showing up.
Yeah, they wanted to be there.
Who came, Mary, that wasn't going to be there?
We got Dayon Johnson, Eric Kendricks, Bato, Antonio Gates, and Mario Lopez.
I also did not touch Mario Lopez.
I'm gonna fist bump Mario Lopez. Way to go, Mario! I did it.
What the heck, Slater?
Anyways, see us later. And after we did all those things, we also got to witness the draft pick.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we were there.
So true.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Quentin Johnston.
We're happy.
We've learned a lot more about him now, so we're pretty freaking excited that he's on our team.
Mm-hmm.
And we love that the Chargers pick people where everyone's kind of like, wait, who's that?
Who's that?
That's exactly who I want. We're freaking the OG hipsters. We want to like the things before they're cool. We don't want to pick the mainstream, like Zay Flowers. Ugh, that's so mainstream.
Everyone's talking about him.
Michael Mayer. Ugh, that's so mid. That's not something we say.
I don't even know what that means.
I think it means middle. Like not good. It's bad to be in the middle.
Oh.
You know?
Like being a middle child.
Average. Basic. Lame. And we ended the evening with a super meta moment where Mary sports announced Matt Money Smith throwing a bomb downfield.
Justin Herbert launches it! Jalen Guyton! Yeah! Touchdown, Matt Money Smith!
I don't know if you really noticed, but he'll see this later, hopefully, and appreciate what we did.
Or think, oh, I would have done such a better job.
And he would have.
He definitely would have.
He was like, my job is safe.
Well, it was a freaking wonderful day.
So good. It was wonderful from 9:30 a.m. when we got there till 10:30 when we left.
Worth it.
It was. Brisket Brats.
Ladies, as per usual, I'm crying from start to finish. Fantastic
the fact
video.
that they stood next to the stage and touched players.
Yeah.
That's the kind of crazy stuff I would do.
It is. And I'd be like, Kevin, stop. No, don't.
Don't, you could embarrass me. Oh, I did it. I love that Antonio Gates was like, hey, what's going on?
Hey, what are you doing?
What are you doing? that was everything I expected and wanted from your experience there. You guys are amazing.
And what a party. What a turnout of people and
honestly,
players.
Looks better than our experience because you were with just Charger fans. We were just getting teased left and right and smack talked and you're in Kansas City, so it's just red everywhere, and that just always sucks. So
we did ride our birds and flip people off as we were driving around.
Right.
That was good.
And we had our little island of about 25 Charger fans when we were at the event. So we had that, but man, a mall full of Charger fans.
This book they have, dude. Can you imagine how much this thing is going to be worth? You guys got to get like an insurance policy on that.
You guys got to be careful.
I'm not even kidding. Some of those signatures, like all of them together, like that's absolutely.
I'm not even kidding either. I'm going to steal it.
And the drawings are amazing. The drawings are amazing.
They did all this work, and I'm just going to take it.
I challenge the Brisket Brats to get as
I'm
many
wait till they get Justin
picture as
Herbert
possible. Yeah.
All right, ladies, fantastic job. What a party. What a time. Thank you for putting all that together. That was so freaking good.
That was awesome.
All right. Well, time to go on to the next segment. You know them, you love them. It's the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
Hey, yo, CC gang. The biggest of salutes, as always, and to the rest of the Boltfam was goody. She got Craig in Texas. Not in Texas right now, but I'll get to that in a second. Welcome to a post-draft edition of the Craig Experience. Okay, so, as I was saying before, not in Texas. Actually celebrating my 40th, which is today, out in Cabo San Lucas, which is where I've been for the entirety of the draft. So definitely an awesome experience. Check out the views. Sweet. Pretty dope, right? Yeah, cool. So, anywho, let's do a little bit of draft talk, shall we? Ultimately, I'm okay with how everything went down. I had some fails during the draft because, as you guys know, I was a really big Zay Flowers fan, and he was right there for the taking. But apparently, the Chargers decided to ride with the bigger body in Quentin Johnston, and I mean, okay, it's their thing. Kind of have to come to expect it at this point. They're going to opt with the bigger guys, and that's just how they roll. But there's a lot that Quentin offers, and hopefully he can clean up some of the smaller issues and become a large part of the offense and provide some things that they're lacking, particularly in yards after catch. And I know what the 40 time says, but he's a lot faster on the field than he is tiny. Long stride guy, takes him a while to build up speed, but he does add that element. And then the Chargers did address speed in the 4th round with a player that, you know, I feel like they could have had a little bit later, but that's when they decided to go after him. They had eyes on a particular guy apparently, and they did what they did and pulled the trigger. So, yeah, at least got to give them credit for, you know, sticking to their guns and going after the dude that they really wanted. He doesn't necessarily fit the bill in every aspect offensively as a receiver as I want, and a smaller, more dynamic guy. He's got the speed, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily super duper quick in all directions the way that Zay Flowers is, and a playmaker in that regard. I mean, he's got some film of him taking some short passes, you know, to the house. So there's that. So he provides some semblance of it. So I'm happy about that. The team actually added to the edge position with Tuli, who can also play a little on the inside. So now you've got some quality depth and a guy that's going to develop behind Joey and Khalil Mack. Probably going to have a little bit bigger role going into 24, but for the time being, you have somebody that you can get in the mix there. And if one of those two guys has to go down for any certain period of time, you have somebody that you feel a little bit better about, particularly as a run defender and an edge setter. I am happy about the Jarrett Clark signing as an undrafted rookie free agent because he was actually my interior defensive line sleeper, so it was really cool to see him pull that one off. Kind of makes up for the 7th round pick. And with the Duggan brothers, I like that one because of the name, but you know, I'll give them a pass. I'm gonna give you guys a hard time because I'm sure y'all are gonna purchase those jerseys. Anyway, Jarrett Clark is somebody who can really provide some interior pass rush. He's growing in that way. Learned a little bit more about him in his background in high school. He played tight end. I believe he played on the defensive line or edge or something like that. Go check out his numbers in his senior season. The amount of touchdowns and sacks he had is pretty freaking ridiculous. So he's definitely a pocket collapser, and that's another way that you can cause pressure on the quarterback on the interior. You don't necessarily have to have somebody that's super quick twitch and can win in the way like an Aaron Donald. You can also have a guy that can literally take centers and guards and push them into the QB's lap, which Clark is really adept at. Outside of that, you didn't see much in the way of secondary players having been taken during the draft, really any at all. There were some undrafted rookie free agents, I believe, which leads me to believe that John Johnson is going to be on the phone with the Chargers really soon. Really hoping they get that squared away because that's going to fill a huge hole out there at safety. I think the Chargers are better served with a veteran lining up opposite of Derwin as opposed to a rookie. And, you know, you got JT Woods out there that's still developing, and I believe that they want to give him the chance to do that. So he'll see some burn this year, but they probably don't want to just throw him out there full force after not seeing much time last year. So John Johnson seems like the perfect segue to that happening. Kind of pass the torch over to him after a year or two. So be on the lookout for that. No running back taken in the draft because I'm sure the team believed all along that Austin Ekeler would be there because they hold all the cards there. He wasn't in a position to force a trade. So with there being no leverage in that way, it's probably just one more year of Austin Ekeler left, and then they'll figure out the rest. Isaiah Spiller, you guys know, been a big fan of his. Will get an opportunity to be a bigger part of the offense next year, I assume. And Joshua Kelly is still there as an improving back as well. So ultimately, again, I give the Chargers props for filling a lot of holes in the draft. I wouldn't necessarily say they signed a whole lot of needle movers, but they did get some guys who ultimately feel like they'll be contributors in year one, which the team needs. They can't afford to have early round draft picks who ride the bench and offer them next to no value in the first year. So, especially when you look at some of these bigger contracts coming to the end, and a lot of guys, or at least a couple, won't be around in 2024. So you would like for some of the younger guys to get some burn so that they're not just completely thrown to the wolves next season. But that's it for now. I'm gonna get back out here and enjoy my time. I will be back home soon, and the next time you see me or hear from me, I will in fact be back in my normal spaces, and we'll be chatting, breaking down some more stuff, maybe about the draft, maybe about some new news, who knows. It'll be a couple weeks. But anyway, it's been me. I appreciate you guys. You know who it is, Mr. Bolt Gang, or Do Not Bang, even in Mexico, especially when I'm out of town. Definitely got to represent War Chargers gear every single day. Got a lot of questions, some funny looks, some people were down with it, but you know what? I don't care, because it is Bolt Gang or Don't Bang. For life. Till the next time, y'all take it easy. Catch y'all in the next one. Okay. Love you. Bye.
All right. Well, Craig was in the fields, but in the fields no more. He has come to terms that Zay was not the guy. It is Quentin Johnston. So good on you, Craig, for coming to terms with it. Yeah, welcome back.
Coming to terms is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Just not our reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, Isaiah Spiller, Joshua Kelly, those are the guys for the running back room, which is fine by me. I want to see Isaiah Spiller hit the field.
We've spent some decent round picks on those guys, so you want them to pay off.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear how Rike feels now, about 2 weeks removed from the draft, because he was hurting. He was not getting Bijan. He wanted him so bad. Yeah. And we need to check in on our friend.
Yeah,
we do.
I'll text him.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting if John Johnson is still floating around out there for safety.
Kyle Benoit is still out there open as a depth piece in a lot of spots.
Right. So there's still, I think, some moves to potentially be made. I feel like we still got some cap space to play with.
Yep.
Not a lot. Don't get me wrong. It
doesn't matter. We can go restructure through more contracts when we got a bunch of money again. So
restructure everybody's contract. Yeah. You get a restructure. You get a restructure.
We just take next year off. No team.
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to have a down year. Turn the lights off at the building. We're going to save our money and use it next year.
Yep.
Make some strong investments. Well,
it's restructuring.
Yeah.
So, Craig, try not to have too much fun there in Cabo, you son of a bitch. But thank you for still giving us an awesome Craig experience.
And I just want to say this was his 99th episode of the
Craig experience. Wow.
So next time you see him, it'll be the old 100.
I better see a balloon or confetti or something, Craig. A party hat, I'll take it. Just give me something, Craig.
You have to pop some shit
to celebrate your 100th. Thank you, Craig. All right, time to go on to the next segment. Ask Boltfam.
Oh, shit.
Let's get to it.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam. And we started off with one that I promised to do last episode, coming in hot. Mr. Peck R, who asked me to do a little ditty. And it goes something like this. You're so cool. And with the Chargers, you're gonna rule. Herb, you're so cool. You're gonna win a big ring for your hand. Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert, we love you. Oh, Brisket Brats, eat your Reedies, and also Craig too. 10,000 Charger cheddar tears are rooting for you. Herbert, your wish is about to come true. The Lombardi's for you. Oh, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. We love you. Oh, Herbert. Oh, Herbert. Herbert. We love you.
That was a really good Jack Black, dude. I'm not even kidding. That, like, when you went like, that was solid.
Well, I've listened to him for long enough to
was
channel
awesome.
the Jack.
What a beautiful song, Mr. Pecker.
Mr. Pecker, I hope you and your daughter are happy with that. Thank you for the request.
Awesome.
Let's waste no time and move on now to Brock Bud.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question? Just wanted to thank you guys for all the great content you guys put out every single week. Whenever I take my 3.5 hour drive home from college, I always put on the podcast and make the drive that much easier to go way faster. I'll be listening to this week's show on Wednesday as it is my last time making the trip this year. My question is this: what was your guys' favorite moment while attending the draft? For me, besides the Chargers picks, it was watching a random Packers fan get pissed off after they took Van Ness when he was begging for JSN. Thanks again. Love you. Bye. P.S. Appreciate you for having me on Fan Focus after the second Chiefs game this past season.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, Brock Bud. I mean, might be certified fresh and Ask Boltfam.
No, it's partial fresh.
Partial freshness.
Yeah, it's a
he hasn't hit
stale.
his
Certified
expiration date.
Kind of stale, but still edible. Yeah.
All right. Favorite draft moment. Ready, set, go.
Just hanging out. I think it was that when we got into the inner circle and we were just losing our shit. Like, for me, I think besides hanging out with you guys and the whole experience was randomly getting to take a picture with Roger Goodell. And then I was like, what just happened for me? That was never on my radar, something that would ever happen. So I was crazy.
Yeah. For me, it was the whole day too. We woke up, went Top Golf with our Dial Bowl Club friends. And then, I don't know, just the environment of being around Charger fans that are all crazy Charger fans. Like, not just like, oh yeah, we go to the games. It's me and my wife and we have the jersey and we sit down and we watch the game. It's like, these are all the same kind of psychos as us that like you have all the gear and you talk about the gear that you have and what your plans are for next season and the tickets that you bought and the new gear, like all that stuff. Like, it just made me feel less crazy and like at home. And it was just like, it was rejuvenating for this next season for sure.
Those conversations could go on for days. Like, that's somebody you could sit down with and talk with for days, as those other hard diehards.
Yeah, I would have to. I mean, day 2 is the day, but I'm going to say, riding the birds with you guys through the streets of Kansas City, throwing birds. We're all riding birds. It doesn't get much better than that. So
it was so much fun.
All right, Brock Bud, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daryl Sandlin, 21, who asked the question. Congrats, guys, and another awesome episode after day 2. Now we're looking forward to your thoughts on day 3. Have to say, to hear you guys mention you saw Motley Crue live floored me, seeing as how they're one of my favorite bands, although I will say I wish it was the 80s again when they really tore it up to live and you 3 would tore it up live. And you 3 would have had a real rock and roll party with endless boobs, booze, and debauchery. Hell, I've got Motley tats as well as Charger tats. Go look up their Wild Side vid from 1987. Now on to day 3. I dig the picks, especially Big Red Scott Matlock. The dude says he's coming to take souls. Versatile on both the O-line and D-line. Imagine Kellen M lining him up as a decoy tight end. The only thing I screamed at was taking a QB in the 7th. What the freak? To me, it was a waste of a valuable pick. Needed another D-line or O-line body. Anyhow, proud of you guys and glad you had a great time. And thanks for sharing with us and keeping us smiling. Kay, love you, bye. All right, well.
Motley Crue was pretty badass, dude.
That was a wild show for sure.
And I feel like there were some like 40, 50-year-old ladies in the crowd that were ready to go crazy. But the NFL vibe was like, not here.
Careful.
not here.
Careful.
So, careful.
Sarah.
Deb.
Put the shirt down.
Careful.
Careful. Think about it.
Hey.
Those things need support. Keep that on.
All right. Well, we already kind of talked about taking a QB in the 7th.
I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't think people that like that didn't like this. The people that didn't like this pick, like you're not fucking idiots, like I said earlier. Okay, I'm gonna walk that back. I got a little fired up, but I do want to go back to the point of like, what of those other 12 picks were you like? That's my guy. Because none of them were for me.
For 7th round, we picked up how many undrafted rookies? Like, at least another 10 or 15, and there were some O-line bodies in there that. I mean, unless one of those 12 was the O-line body that you really wanted or the D-line body, like...
They're not.
They're a 7th rounder.
You got a Heisman finalist in the 7th round. Like, if you're happy up until that point, this was a great draft because I think a lot of people want only carry 2 quarterbacks so that way we can have more players on the roster. I get that whole perspective. That's like the narrative that's been going around all the podcasts and Bolt Beat and all the guys. Like, they can have that. That's totally fine. But... the 7th is like kind of a throwaway pick in a lot of ways. Like not a lot of 7th rounders are still on rosters.
Yeah, if we're talking 3rd round or 4th round, then yes.
Yeah,
understandable.
I love that.
If you took a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, 5th round, I'd have been pissed.
Exactly.
You know, it's like those guys have an opportunity to make an impact. It's just in the 7th round. It's I don't know. I was not upset. Just think of it this way: if you're the only time you're upset is the 7th round, that's a good draft,
right?
Yeah, and the fact that you even knew who the guy was in the 7th round, that's an awesome draft.
You got a big name, boys. You got a
big name in the 7th round.
Come on,
yeah,
great name too.
Schmeisman,
fantastic.
Let's go.
What's the baby's name, Kyle?
Well, I already have a son named Pax, so I think it's close enough.
Pax and Max?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Pax and Max.
My oldest is Pax Duggan, so that's pretty damn close. I'm going to count that as a credit.
Did you talk to Hillary about it at all?
Hillary listened to the episode, and she goes, yeah, that's not happening, bud.
she is creating the life, so she gets more of a say on the naming of that life.
For sure.
Fair enough. All right.
Hey, we get Pax can become Max. We just start calling him Max.
You call him whatever you want, for sure.
All right, cool. Your oldest is now Max.
Okay.
Done and done.
Done.
Daryl Sandlin, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Bolted Asherman, who asked the question. Bolted Asherman here with warnings for those who would hate on a number 1 pick, Quentin Johnston. Listen up, Charger fans, and don't get caught up in the hate. The last time everyone was so damn negative and downright mean about our 1st round pick, Justin motherfucking Herbert happened. Sons of bitches are gonna be tripping out when Quentin Johnston starts having 200-yard games. Can I get a hail packer? Yes. Kevin Kyle Bulldog, give me QJ1 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. One more time, gentlemen. Hail Pekka, yes. Go Chargers, sports are up. Love you, bye.
This is a great observation. I think that there's been so many people that were upset here because there were so many other guys they wanted, i.e. Tua, when it happened for me. And the Chargers made the right choice. So we're good at 1st round picks. So let's just lean into that.
Yeah.
Let's lean into what exactly what he just said.
I get being upset if your guy doesn't get picked. Like, Bijan Robinson going before Chargers even had a shot. I get it. You can be upset about that. Being upset at the player before they've had a chance to throw or catch a ball. I mean, come on. I mean, give the guy. Yeah. I mean, let the guy. I mean, hell. I mean, wasn't like Tyreek Hill like a 3rd rounder?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was other wide receivers, I'm sure, that went before Tyreek Hill.
Like
that
Tyreek Hill, like
in the 3rd. I mean, I guess, but
what if Darius Davis becomes that?
That's what I'm.
What you
saying.
thought Zay Flowers was going to be.
And guess what? Technically, he's faster because he had a higher mile per hour than Tyreek Hill in all his plays last year in the NFL.
Yeah. So
just saying,
if Tyreek Hill is Cheetah, then what is Darius Davis?
Yeah. His dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's light speed.
His daddy. Faster. Faster than a cheetah.
He's a faster war daddy.
He's his war daddy. All right. Bolted Asherman, thank you for the refresher. Let's move on now to Kyle Goodwin, who asked the question. Finally, something to dive into and get excited about after months of emptiness looking back to what could have and should have been. I literally said at halftime as I'm dancing in my underwear, annoying my wife to her wit's end, babe, we win in this. If we lose at this point, I'll eat our cat's fecal matter, which now I feel responsible for them losing and grown an addiction to kitty poops. It's pretty good. You guys should try it. It's like a sour ammonia flavor, yet creamy Three Musketeers with a nice salty crunch. Anyway, who's the player that surprises us from the draft, you think? This was so gross. I'm reading this going like, oh, God.
Oh, God.
But with a voice that's somehow better. But the question being, player that surprises us from the draft.
Max Duggan, first preseason game, throws for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. And you all eat your words about our 7th round pick.
I love it.
And you know who's going to hit? Quentin Johnston and Darius. They're going to be just flying down the field.
It'll be a TCU all over again.
Yeah, I love it.
I second that. But I also think the guy that I think is going to have an impact pretty quickly, and I didn't even know about him. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't watch any Boise games. Is Matlock, dude. I love scary guys, especially guys that are called war daddies. I'm on board for that. So that was, I didn't know who he was when he was drafted, but then once you start looking into him, what he's all about, what he does, you're like, holy shit, how did we get this? And he was like, if you're going off testing, he's the top testing and interior defensive lineman. So yeah. That's exciting. That's really cool. It's kind of a Olshansky vibe. I'm getting some Shanskys out of this guy.
Getting some Shanskys vibes. Love it. I would have to say the same. I'm Matlock, I think, is the guy that's going to surprise a lot of people and end up in the rotation a lot more than I think we might expect. So those are our picks. Kyle Goodwin, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bert1097.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question? Who do you like in the NHL playoffs? I don't know.
I'm out.
In it?
Kings are out. I'm out. Hockey's done
yeah.
for me, man. I'm all done.
Right now, I'm pulling, like, when I watch, if it's on TV and I don't have any other sports going, I'm just pulling for the Kraken because they're a new team. They're kind of on the West Coast.
I've heard of them. Yeah. Seattle team, right?
Yeah. They got a cool logo. So, and they're just kind of the underdogs. They're a brand new squad. Feels like a team I root for.
I think didn't the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup their first year as a team?
They didn't win. I think they got. Did they win it or they got there?
They got.
I don't think they won yet.
Yeah, so it's a good sign for them if that's the case.
All right. Well, probably not the answer you wanted, Bert1097, but it's the answer you get. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Boltzilla, who asked the question. Did you guys see that Keenan Allen was the Masked Singer as the gargoyle? I had not watched a performance till I found this out, and I was genuinely impressed at his vocal skill. If you were each to be placed on the show as a Masked Singer, what costume would you wear, and what karaoke song would you sing? By the way, thanks for all the off-season content. Great job representing the Bolt Gang at the draft. K, love you, bye.
That was crazy. It was kind of like sprinkling around social media. Like I heard well before it was announced it was him that it was him. So I kind of knew it was coming, but it was rad to see him on it. That's cool. He's got a great voice.
Anybody that's watched any of his off-season content, I mean, if he finds a piano in a hotel lobby, he's walking up to it, playing it, and singing at the same time. So, guy's super talented singer. I haven't seen his Masked Singer performance, but I think it happened while we were at the draft. I think James Ebo showed the phone and was like, "Hey, look, it was Keenan Allen, a Masked Singer."
Oh, really?
Shit.
Draft night. Nice.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to hear his performance, but I can only imagine it was amazing. But that's not the question. The question is, if we were each to be placed on the show, what costume would we wear and what song would we sing?
Kev would be a Viking.
Viking singing Thunderstruck.
Yeah, there you go. I could see that coming.
I have a comical rendition of Thunderstruck in karaoke, and it goes pretty well when I do it. I cough like this afterwards for a couple days, but it's
really cute. Yeah.
It's really cute.
What karaoke would you do, Kyle? I'd love to see that.
I've never done karaoke, so I don't know what song would be my go-to.
What song do you sing in the car? Do you sing in the car?
My neck, my back, my.
I don't know. No, I don't have any go-to songs. That's the hard part.
No tunes that you hum.
Careful. You have to be careful with karaoke songs because if they get too pitchy or up and down, and then you get lost. I don't know.
No, you just get quieter. You don't get louder when you're not sure about what's going to happen. You just get louder and you get
take it down
involved.
an octave.
You get it. Look at everyone drinking, not paying attention. You're like, let's go, get your hands in the air, and then you get back into it. Come on, you got to play the room. It's more about performance than it is about how well you perform.
Okay.
All right.
Wooly, what about you?
Well, what costume would you wear if you had to wear a Masked Singer-esque costume?
Ginger Viking. I just wanted to clarify. Be a ginger Viking.
Those are the best kind.
Those are the rarest ones.
Those are the only kind.
That's the rarest one. A card's worth a
lot. I don't know. I guess I would dress up like a padre, bald head,
perfect.
Cloak on, go nacho vibes. Maybe I'll sing the nacho song.
There you go. Come on. God, don't tell me you can't sing.
Yeah.
Encarnacion.
Yeah.
Done. What about you, Bulldog?
Let's see. I would probably sing. My go-to at karaoke is always Johnny Be Good. And I would probably dress up as the little poop emoji because it sets the tone or sets the level of expectation, and then maybe
people
I
think
blow
it's
it out
gonna
of the
be
water.
shit, and then you know, it's refreshing.
Yeah. All right, Boltzilla, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Cerberus 21, who asked the question.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy, or a suicidal Sally, but I'm very concerned with certain position depth. Edge and wide receiver last year didn't have sufficient depth, and it was the core to a lot of our struggles. This year, safety and tight end feel like they don't have sufficient depth. Alohi Gilman is starting next to Derwin, which I'm not super comfortable with, and I have no faith in JT Woods with his tackling problem. I don't know if you guys remember the 2-game stretch with McKitty and Stone Smart playing most of the tight end snaps, but the blocking was atrocious, and the receiver separation was lacking. What's the point of having 5 top-tier offensive linemen just for the edge to give way and blow up our tight end and ruin the play? Which position worries you more, or is there another position that worries you further?
Cerberus. Who's shit in your coffee this morning?
Yeah, worries.
Come on, buddy.
Worry.
Don't be so sad. It'll be okay.
It'll be okay. I mean, the great thing about, McKitty and Stone Smart is they're not our starting tight ends. We'll have.
No, they're 3-4.
Yeah.
That's like the depth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about tight end. It would have been nice to have a dual type of guy, but that's just not part of the plan this year. So don't force a square part into a round.
Square peg in a round hole.
Square peg into a round hole. That's what I was going for. So that's just not part of the offense. So I think we have a consistent tight end room. They all can do similar things. So you have that role, and that's the depth that you need there. To me, it's safety with the unprovenness of JT Woods. I think Alohi is good. I think he's solid. I don't think
that Miami game was great.
I think he's good. Yeah, I think he'll be a good safety. But I would love for him to be our third safety that pops in on packages. So it would be really nice to go get another starting safety. Yeah,
Johnson.
But yeah, that's kind of where I land with the depth piece. That's the only one to me that's a little bit scary is the safety room. Also, the corner room. I mean, you got 3 studs in Davis, Asante, and JC if he's back, but after that, it's young guys that haven't had a whole lot of playing time. So it's the whole defensive backfield is a little bit scary after the starters.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Honestly, a lot of these guys that we were like not too happy with last year, as far as like being a rookie and not coming in and stepping up. Second year, I mean, these guys put on a ton of muscle between their first and second year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see some of these rookies from last year come in and just see how they perform in their second year, because they've had a taste, at least, of what the NFL brings, and they're ready now to accomplish their goals in their position. So I'm not too stressed about any position, honestly. I think we've got some solid depth out of this draft, and I'm just excited to see what the roster ends up shaking out to be.
And I think for offense, there's too many unknowns. Like we're all excited about this new offensive coordinator. Everything you didn't like about some of those positions and that depth was based on another scheme. So I think you got to, maybe don't get so worried about it yet until we can kind of see the first quarter of the season, and then you can think about it. But I'm feeling like the stones are in a row. Our wide receiving core is awesome right now. Our offensive line hasn't been this good in years. Like everything is lining up to have a stud offensive team. So, we'll see what happens in the secondary, but that's coach's forte. That's what he does. He wouldn't not bring the person in he needs if he didn't feel confident in the guys he had. So we're just gonna have to roll with it and see what happens and just get a lot of freaking pressure and make him make mistakes.
Big time. So Cerberus 21, don't be a suicidal Sally. Put the gun down. It's okay. We'll be all right. But thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Wade Mix, who asked the question.
Among the undrafted rookie free agents that the Los Angeles Chargers picked up after the draft, who has the potential to follow in Austin Eckler's footsteps, not only making the team, but also excelling on the field? K, love you, bye.
Well, not knowing a lot of the undrafted rookies that we've picked up.
We didn't know guys in the 6th and 7th rounds. For God's sake.
I mean, we're not the deepest divers on the research side of things, but we do have a guy. His name is Craig. You know him, you love him, you experience him. And the one that he talked about is Jared Clark. Now, I don't know a lot about Jared Clark, but if he gets the Craig seal of approval, count me in.
They were saying he was the number one guy that should have been drafted that was sitting there, and he chose the Chargers. So that's promising.
That is promising. Yeah.
He seems like a little bit of a game wrecker type of interior defensive lineman. That he's got a motor. He's really strong and big. I went to Liberty University, and that was like our big rival for a couple of years. And Coastal Carolina is a good little program, and they're not the biggest school in the world. That's probably why he went a little bit unseen, untested against big talent. But that'll be a fun guy to watch in camp to see how he sizes up with NFL size men,
or just the top tier college program guys. You know what I mean? We'll see. He should have been playing in that mix a little more.
All right. Well, there you go, Wade Mix. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
After last year's schedule release video, how do you think they'll improve on it? Last year was so amazing, I don't know how they could. If you guys had to create a schedule release video, what would you guys do? As always, bolt up. K, love you, bye.
Yeah, and Gavin, how was your trip to the United States of America? I hope you had a good time, my friend.
Yeah, how many shirts did you bring?
Yeah,
I want to count. I want to
know.
All right, so schedule release video.
I'm so excited to see what they're going to come up with. They're the most creative team, social media wise, in all the NFL. So it's next level shit.
I'm gonna say they team up with Disney and Marvel and find a way to incorporate the multiverse.
They go all in. $100 million budget on the release video.
They have to. To compete. If they want to keep competing and
they want to keep
being a top tier, you go into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay. That's where the big boys play.
Yeah. That's
up
where
there in the top.
That's how you know. That's the cream of the crop. So all right. I don't. Could you guys think of anything better?
I think it's going to be. I don't know why Mario Lopez is just just something going on in my brain with Mario Lopez. I don't know what it is.
Maybe your crystal ball says Mario Lopez.
It's feeling Mario Lopez, and they probably built sets and they did a whole Saved by the Bell thing. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I just am.
All right. Well, there you go, Gavin. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Sandman69 USA.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question?
With the schedule being announced this week, which team would you like to see at the home open game?
I would love to beat the shit out of the Raiders again. I would not be mad.
That's a good way to start a season.
Such a great way.
Yeah.
Just because the Raider fans are going to talk shit no matter what, but if you beat them right off the bat, it's just a little fuel until the next time you play them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Broncos either before they start to maybe click with all the new guys in there, catch them early. Get a quick L. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody in the AFC West, just give me one of our divisional opponents. So it's like a meaningful game. Yeah, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. Give me one of them.
Love it.
I'm all about it.
All right, Sandman69 USA. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Swipa Graphics,
Certified Fresh,
who asked the question. Who do you guys think will play first? How many primetime games do you guys think we'll get? Who are you most excited to play outside of our division? Anyways, love you guys always. Y'all make me laugh at any time of the day when I'm working on graphics or just not in the mood to work on anything. I love you. Bye.
Glad we could help.
Glad we could help. Yes.
And your graphics are awesome. Keep them up.
Yes.
I love the swaps and all the stuff you're doing. It's awesome.
All right. Well, first, now this could potentially be an away game as our first game of the seasons. And I think the answer still stands. You want to just knock out an AFC West opponent right at the beginning.
Let's get
home or away. Just make it that kind of a game. Primetime games. Do you think they go up or down from last year? You think they go up?
So what do we have last year? 5?
We had quite a few.
But one of them was a flexed one. I think we had 4 scheduled at the beginning of the year. But I just think that the way that Justin and the Chargers played in primetime, I mean, every game was so exciting.
It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think the Broncos are getting shit this year, even though they did get a new coach. That was the worst football I had ever seen.
That was always the worst games. And it was so early on in the season,
9-6. It's bullshit.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go with 4 again. I think that's a good number. Yeah.
I'd say 4 with the flex. We're going to flex into a 5th.
I'm with you, Kev. I'm going to say we're going to get 4, and I think they're going to see Kellen Moore's offense come out there, and it's going to be too exciting not to flex into some kind of a primetime slot.
I feel like it'll be like flexed into one of the late ones where Justin's about to have like a 5,800 yard, 6,000 yard season, and it's just fucking like we got to get that on primetime.
I think you look at it. You're going to get one of our Chiefs games for sure. Is going to be primetime Sunday or Monday, and then the Tua rivalry is another one. We play the Jets, so that's Aaron Rodgers,
Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And then you have we have a lot of big time opponents. We have the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We have the Packers, and then we have all our other divisional opponents. So there's just, I think 4 is a pretty comfortable number for primetime games.
Yeah, and then outside the division
is 4. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
And then outside the division, what are you guys most looking forward to?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Bears. Bears at SoFi. Take my brother-in-law.
Oh yeah,
drive him home. And
did you decide you were going to take him, or
no? He's going to buy his own tickets, but we'll go together.
Okay, sit near other part of the I'd like to go to that game as well.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Swipa Graphics. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to XX Kevin
Certified Fresh
Kevon, who asked the question. Looking at this complete roster and our schedule this year, how many games do you think we'll win? And do you guys plan on going to SoFi for any home games this year?
Oh, Kevin,
buddy.
Kevin.
Oh, my God.
You haven't been here long because we are a 17-0 kind of podcast.
That's right, baby.
You start here, baby. Why start down here when you can start right up here?
I don't see any team on that schedule that we're not going to beat. That's how my eyes work when it comes to the Chargers.
Like it or not. Yeah, that's what it is.
17-0. Yeah, and we're season ticket holders. So we will
season
be
ticket holders.
Yeah.
We will most, if not all.
Yes. Yeah. So keep an eye out for us, bud. But thank you for asking the question.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you for the question. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I got to step away. I'll be right back, guys.
Kyle's got to dip out, but we'll get him back in hopefully by the end here.
Okay, love you. See you later.
See you soon.
Okay.
All right. Well, now it's me and Kevin here tackling these questions. We'll start it off with Ed Boyum, who asked the question.
Which non-divisional opponent do you want to steal a dub from the most? For me, it's New England. Just to stick it to them after all the tormenting they've done to us over the years. Yeah, Miami or Baltimore would probably be better for playoff seeding, but New England is going to be my choice for selfish reasons. Curious to hear y'all's.
You are clearly a longtime Charger fan because the hate for the New England Patriots is very real.
Oh, yes.
Not only in my family, but in my heart. So I'm going to consider that a yes. I'll get on that.
Get on that train. Yeah.
Patriots suck. And I want to see them lose to us.
Yeah.
More than anyone. Like in a punishing manner. Because the last time we played them, they beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
And it was like a wake up call. We need to like check ourselves. We're not that good. to give that to them this year.
Well, the only one that I'll say in opposite of that is, would you risk not getting the dub from the Packers?
Yeah, just that. That wouldn't bother me as much, because if we had to lose a team, it'd be okay because it's my wife's team.
I was going to say, would Josie rub it in your face?
I don't think so. I don't think so. She might.
You say with a smile. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I can't guarantee anything, but I think she's seen me fall apart too much after losses. So
okay. She'd be a little more sympathetic.
She'd put all the kids between us and say something. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't fight my way through them to get at her. So she used the kids as human shields.
I don't know if that'll work. I'm pretty sure you'd throw those
into
kids.
babies.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Ed Boyum, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Tom Telesco's burner account, who asked the question. What's the funniest thing that happened to you guys lately? You guys are great, man. I mean, really, man, you guys are Charger heroes. If you don't have something funny lately, what's your best knock-knock joke? All right. Anything funny happened to you lately?
Well, I just told you a story.
I'm still laughing.
As you can tell, Adam cut out probably 500 coughs that I have in this episode. You just see me doing a lot.
Yeah.
But I went in to the pharmacy here to get Mucinex, because that's what I need.
Right.
It's what I
You're just
need.
coughing stuff up. You're not feeling too bad. You just
have a cough.
Got to loosen it up. Yeah.
Just got to loosen up the shit and let it get out.
Let it fly.
And then I go into this place. First of all, zero English. And not only zero English, but I'm inconveniencing them with my English. That is something they do not.
Cough.
Yeah. Respiratory. Green. How do you say green?
Como se dice?
They don't speak Spanish either.
Oh God.
So they didn't have that. So then I got the off-brand Romanian version of Mucinex, and clearly it's not working that great.
Was there is there a mascot on the bottle or anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then you might have okay stuff.
And I may not be taking the right dose because I can't read the instructions. So, and the guy I work with told me what to take, and we haven't been seeing eye to eye lately. So who knows what he told me to take? It could be the least amount possible. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm taking the right thing, but I'm shitting my brains out lately.
I literally can't stop shitting. This is the weirdest medicine. I said chest, not stomach. Get this evil out of me, my chest, not my stomach.
Not my ass. My chest.
Not my ass. Keep that together.
Oh, God.
What about you? Anything funny happen?
I can't think of anything funny, but I've always got this knock-knock joke lined up in my back pocket. So knock-knock.
No, who's there?
One more time. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
I didn't know you could yodel.
Stupid.
That one killed me as a child, and I've not been able to forget it since. So feel free to use that.
That's really good. I like that.
All right. That's one you can tell your mom. Tom Telesco's burner account. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Big Daddy Ruiz, who asked the question. Dear Charger Chat podcast, I'm writing today because I'm a bit sad. The draft was cool and all, but the reason I'm sad is because a few months back, I asked if you guys would do a Hot Ones on Patreon like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler did, and y'all said you'd be down. I know it must be hard to get together because of family and living away from each other, but any update on it? I think it would be cool to have the Brisket Brats ask you some terrible hard questions and see who answers and who has to go through the pain of eating a spicy wings. I'll even be willing to pay for the wings or make them myself. All right. Sincerely, Big Daddy Ruiz. K-Love you, bye.
Before we get into this, Big Daddy, would you consider changing your name to War Daddy Ruiz? Because that could be fucking awesome.
I didn't hear a word you said because all I could picture was War Daddy
Ruiz. And I want that on a t-shirt. Yeah, dude, absolutely. It's been crazy couple months, but I'm sure I can find some Romanian hot sauce to get the knockoff brand.
Maybe that's what you need. You don't need any medicine. You just need some hot sauce. Yeah, something to clear up the sinuses and really open you up.
But I don't. Gross.
I'm sorry. God, I'm crying. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Big Daddy, don't be sad. We'll work on it.
It is on the to-do list, I promise.
Yeah.
We just need to order the sauce on Amazon, send 3 different packages out there, and then figure it out. It's gonna happen. I promise.
Yeah.
Give us some time though. I promise you it will happen.
We only had a few days at the draft, and we didn't want to send Kyle on a plane blasting fire out of his butt. So
Kyle, he totally forgot about it too until he's like in the air. Oh man.
All right, Big Daddy Ruiz, thank you. We don't mean to disappoint. We will get on that for sure.
We're on it. War Daddy.
War
Please
Daddy Ruiz.
Consider this.
Let's move on now to Tiger Teb, who asked the question.
How did you come to being Bolts fans?
Sorry, Adam went too quick. Certified fresh.
Ooh, so sorry.
I didn't get a chance.
Sorry, Tiger Teb. All right. Well, I mean, we've certainly talked about it before, but we can give
let's do it.
Let's do it again. Second verse, same as the first.
Let's go, baby. Kyle and I, basically our dad was diehard at season tickets when we were little, and Kyle was 4, I was 10 when we went to our first Super Bowl, and that was, Junior Seau was the shit in San Diego, and it was just the culture. It was the cool kid thing, and it was awesome, and we went to a lot of games when we were younger, and it just, we were always fans, and it just never went away. It was just part of it. And then I think when the move happened, it forced us to be stronger fans. And then that's when this podcast started, and it just got to keep going. And now it's it's really gotten out of hand, I think. The amount of money we spent on this, we spent so much money going to that draft. It's getting out of hand.
I mean, yeah, the amount of hats that I've bought, I look at my wall of hats and I'm like, I've got a problem. I've got way too many Charger hats.
This is an issue.
Yeah, for me, I grew up in San Diego as well. We all went to the same high school and stuff. And, in 2006, I was aware at least of like LT, like Breaking Records. I was like, oh, that's cool. Way to go, San Diego. And then like in college was when Kevin was like, no, we are watching Charger games.
Sit your ass
like
down.
it or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down. Just put the gun down. And
calm down.
And so watching the games and Kevin's enthusiasm for the team was just infectious. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna be watching this team, and even going to Idaho, it was like, all right, well, Chargers are my team. Then I got to keep watching these guys. And the move happened, and it was just like, I'm in Idaho now. Like, what do I do? Like, I don't know. And then Kevin wrangled me into the podcast, and the rest is history. Like, our affinity for the Chargers has just been that much stronger. Yeah.
It's out into the stratosphere. It's gone past breathable heights. We're now holding our breath in our love for the Charger fans.
We're now in our astronaut suits.
We are.
So, Tiger Teb, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Athir Kadir.
There.
And shout out to Zachary Shelton. You guys basically asked the same question, but I'm going with Athir. And it goes something like this. Chargers winning the Super Bowl! Most likely division winner or wild card. Before you answer, remember 8 of the past 13 champs played on Wild Card Weekend. Let's go, baby! FTR number 10 MVP. Love you, bye!
I'm with you, man, but I want to win the AFC West. I don't want to be a wild card team at all. I want to beat the Chiefs. I want to start it off like, I think it's a confidence thing. It's like after what happened last playoff game, if we can win the AFC West and know that you have to beat the Chiefs when you win the AFC West. You have to beat them both. You have to beat the AFC West to win the AFC West, essentially. Believe it or not. But having that confidence and knowing that you did that, it's different, dude. You get a week off, rest your body.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you come out hot. But I want to win the AFC West more than anything. That's my big goal. the first goal. There's new goals form after that. My first goal is AFC West this year. That's what I want more than anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's an interesting stat that you pulled up there, Athir, as far as like 8 of the past 13 champs played on a wild card weekend. That is, no pun intended, wild. But I think getting the conference, that is almost more important to me. The Super Bowl obviously is the ultimate important goal for the Chargers, but getting an AFC West division champ, like that is, when was the last time we've even been able to say that? Like,
I have a shirt in my closet. I think it's
like 94.
No, it's 2000s. That was when we were badass. But
okay,
it's been a long time. That shirt is really old.
So I think we got to at least do that, and then Super Bowl bound, baby.
You're doing that. You're just a dominant team.
Exactly.
If you do that, everything else will kind of speak for itself.
Exactly.
So yeah.
All right. Well, Athir Kadir and Zachary Shelton, thank you guys for asking the question. Guys. Let's move it on now to Rebolted 2006, who asked the question. Orderly, Chargers chat fam. Continuing my positivity, I'm glad my exes left me because my dream is to marry a beautiful Hispanic woman, one that is very much attainable with this franchise after visiting Thunder Alley. With that being said, any single diehard Hispanic Chargers fan women between the ages of 25 and 30 following this podcast, please reach out to my newly hired Charger Chat wingman for more details. If this works, I plan to have Adam to be my best man, Kyle be the ordained minister, and Kev can be my bachelor party planner and one of the groomsmen.
Bet your ass.
Now on to the question. I feel like your next big break post-draft is to be invited to a Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco press conference. I always enjoy seeing these, especially when Daniel Popper goes after them both to ask those really blunt questions. I also like the return responses from them, whether very blunt, short, or sarcastic. If you were invited to a press conference, what would be your questions for them post-draft and on the state of the team? What kind of reporter would you be, and how you would respond to them if they did get sarcastic or short with you? Just curious if you would be the type of reporters to really press them on an issue until they give you an answer in the moment, the one that they keep asking them the same question every press conference until they address it, or be a chill type of reporter asking basic questions. Please demonstrate this like you guys were there. LOL. In the words of our 6th-round defensive tackle, we're coming for souls next season, and I hope to find a beautiful soul to enjoy watching that with. Can't love you, bye.
We have like a dating service, Charger Chat dating app. Let's go.
All right. I know what my commercial's going to be.
Wow, you just did it. You landed it. Dating
service. Okay.
All right, there you go. There's the commercial.
There it is. All right. So if we were reporters, Kev and Duggan, what kind of reporters would we be?
So I do a lot of interviews. And
you do?
What I will say is the best way to do an interview is to disarm who you're interviewing. Mm-hmm. So you catch them off guard to show them that you're here for a good time, but you also want some fucking facts. Okay? So you gotta catch them off guard.
You look good in that shirt. Where'd you bury the bodies?
Okay. Something like, Coach. Yes, Kevin from Charger Chat. Yes. Thank you for taking my question, Coach Staley. First question. There's a rumor going around that somehow Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dicker the Kicker's uncle. We see it in his teeth and we see it in the field goals. What are your thoughts on Dicker the Kicker and Arnold Schwarzenegger? Question 1. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Caught him off guard.
Sure.
Hey, that
he's got to think about it. Yeah.
The fence is coming down.
Right.
You keep disarming him.
There's
going to be some stuff there.
Yeah.
And then we can hit the hard, the harder questions like how does Justin Herbert smell? What is game day like after a win? Like the very positive vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not coming after anyone's souls on the questions for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I don't think either one of us are coming for souls, but I can't think of any.
We would be the worst. Like if the Chargers wanted just to have just like softballs, like literally just want to toss you something so you could take it yard.
Yeah.
I'm your man. I will ask the most softball funny questions that I can come up with.
Yeah. We're here to make friends, not drive in these hard questions that, the fans want answers to. Like,
I'm volunteering my time for this.
Exactly.
I'm here to become best
paying
friends.
you to ask you questions. So
yeah, I would expect to be best friends after this press conference.
Yeah, I want some Instagram DMs after this, please and thank you. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm not asking hardball questions at all. It's I want some fun questions. I want to be friends with these people, for Pete's sake. I want to be invited to the barbecues and stuff like that.
Amen.
So Rebolt to 2006. We'll see what we can do for you. But
any of the ladies out there,
all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Rebolt to 2006 is your guy. Thank you.
Haven't met him in person, but he's on the show frequently. Seems like a stand-up.
He's continuing his positivity. He's changing it around. He's trying to be more positive. So he's turning a new leaf.
I love
ladies.
Rebolt
to 2006. Thank you for asking the question.
Commercial.
Yes. And let's move on now to Justin Sabercool, who asked the question. Here's a fun little scenario. There's a position on the Chargers to be Justin Herbert's best friend, and the 3 finalists are you guys, and it's a death battle to see who is going to get it. Which one of you would win, and why? Good luck.
Kyle loses because he didn't show up, so he's out of the fucking
He's too
run.
busy taking his kids to practice.
Yeah, he's too busy getting them ready for baseball practice.
Good old Max.
He better be back here in a minute. I'm gonna kick some ass. I don't know. Are you willing to fight for his love? Because I am.
I love the way you said that.
Do you want to throw down over his love?
Here's the thing. If it's just a fight, I'm not willing to fight. Like, yeah, just go for it. Go be his best friend. But when he says a death battle, it's like, okay, either I got to fight you or die and win and be Justin Herbert's best friend, or fight you and die. In which case, I would probably still let you win and be Justin Herbert.
You would let me kill you so I can be friends with Justin Herbert?
Well, if this is an inescapable scenario, then yes. But
hey, how about we do this?
I'd be like
Romeo and Juliet this shit, and we just kill ourselves, okay? Just end it out together, and then Justin Herbert comes to our funeral.
No, take care of Alice and Betty for me, please, and thank you.
No,
okay, love you, bye.
So dark. Okay, love you, bye.
Pitch myself off a cliff.
This is so sad.
All right. Well, there you go.
And thanks, Justin. We miss you, brother. Can't wait to see you at Thunder Alley this year.
All right. Thank you for asking the question. And let's see if we can we bring Kyle back for the... We're nearing the end here. So
hold on.
Let's see if we can...
Hold on.
Let me see if I can channel him. Kyle Duggan. Kyle Duggan.
All right. Yeah, he's coming.
Okay. It was that easy. Oh, look at that. He's back, folks, for the last question. Kyle is back for the final question, and we go out of Ask Boltfam with Boltville714, who asked the question. So picture yourselves in a Hollywood romance movie where the plot was about your polyamorous love for the Chargers, but then one of you began to lose their love for football, and more specifically, the Chargers. Assign your roles. Who would be the one wanting to check out of the relationship? Who would be taking it the hardest and cry at the thought of losing each other? And which one of you would be the strong one who tries to keep you guys together? Knowing each other as well as you do, what type of stereotypical chick flick movie moves and or quotes would you attempt on each other in order to remind each other of the good times and rekindle the love and passion for the Chargers? By the way, I can totally picture two of you guys going to serenade the other with an old school boombox outside the bedroom window on a Sunday morning with the Thunderstruck song. Lastly, what would you name the movie? Love you, bye. Wow.
Oh, shit. There's a lot in here, Phil.
That's a lot in here.
It's
My
a lot.
creative juices are spent, it feels like.
So, who would want to be checking out of the relationship?
Okay, well, I kind of went through this when the Chargers left San Diego, and I was real close to bailing. So I'll fall on that sword and I'll be that character.
That guy sucks. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it.
All right. And taking the hardest to cry.
I think I'm crying.
I believe that Adam would take it the hardest, me trying to leave the Chargers. I think he would be upset about me losing my love for football. And Kevin would be the hard ass. It's not like a romance movie. It's more like Major Pain. Like he'd be like, one tubby, like get your ass back in the game type of vibe.
I love it.
Yeah,
So we're not a romance movie. We're a comedy.
I would remind you to never let go, Jack, and hold on, and we can all fit on this broken door together.
We would all sink together.
We'd all just sink with that thumbs up, bolt up,
holding the boombox above our heads
as we're sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic. As we're sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic.
Oh God! And what would the name of the movie be?
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case. 100%.
That's the name of this fictitious.
Kill me now.
Oh
yeah,
boy,
because this shit'll never happen.
Wow. All right. Well, can't wait to see the poster. Boltville 714. Thank you for asking the question. And thank you everybody for asking the questions here on Ask Boltfam in this episode. We really appreciate it. It's fun to do this, especially after a draft. Who knows what the next big news is going to be, but you better believe that we'll be talking about it. So until then, any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
I'm so glad we're like doing this again, and we need to keep it at exactly 7 days, because 8 days, I just can fall apart, guys.
It's too much.
7 days is it.
Too much.
And we need to bring that second episode back because I'm feeling a little lonely out here in Romania.
No Romanian Charger fans to be found.
Sorry, guys. I've got to put that second episode back on the calendar for the next month.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Oh, Duggan rules. Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, where are all the Charger girls? They're at ChargerFansOnly.com. ChargerFansOnly.com? Yeah, ChargerFansOnly.com is the new online dating site for Charger fans, Charger lovers, and good old Charger chatteteers. You don't have to be lonely at ChargerFansOnly.com. Raider fans just don't get it.